Hello, I did the New Jersey versus TLO in 1985 case. This was located at Piscataway High School. It was argued on March 28th, 1984. It was re-argued on October 2nd, 1984, and then it was finally decided on January 15th, 1985. This was argued because a teacher at the New Jersey high school found 14-year-old TLO, who was a freshman at the time, and a companion smoking cigarettes in the bathroom, which was against school policy. So the teacher immediately brought them to the principal's office, where they met with the vice principal, Theodore Choplik. Her companion, when questioned by Mr. Choplik, immediately confessed to smoking cigarettes in the bathroom and violating school policy. But TLO denied smoking cigarettes in the bathroom and said she had never smoked in her life. When the vice principal Choplik then looked inside of TLO's purse, he found the cigarettes and some wrapping papers, which in his experience, the wrapping papers led to the use of marijuana with the students. So this led him to search the bag further. When he searched the bag further, he found marijuana, a pipe, baggies, a bunch of money and $1 bills, a list on an index card of other students that owed TLO money, as well as 2 notes that implicated TLO in selling marijuana at the high school. After this, Vice Principal Choplik called TLO's mother as well as the police. When the police got there, TLO and her mother had to go to the police station, where TLO then confessed to selling drugs at the high school. The state brought delinquent charges against her in juvenile court after this. TLO moved to suppress the evidence that was discovered in this search, but the court denied the motion. The Juvenile and Domestic Relations Court found TLO guilty and then charged her with a sentence of 1 year of probation. We can see this question in the court case of, does the exclusionary rule apply to schools' conduct by school officials in public schools? And we can see this in the appeal case on October 2nd, when the court stated that the Fourth Amendment prohibition on unreasonable search and seizure applies to public school officials. Yes, because they cannot unlawfully search any student if there's not clause. But because the students are under the custody and of the principal, then the conduct of reasonable warrantless searches can be done. So if a student has broken a rule or broken school policy, then the school officials can search their bags, or if they believe that a law is being broken by a student, then they have the power to have a warrantless search or seizure of school students' bags. The court held under this search that TLO's purse was reasonably searched by the school because she had been breaking school policy in the bathroom by smoking cigarettes. So then the vice principal did have the authority to do a warrantless search of her bag and find the information about her selling drugs on campus. This was decided by a 3-6 decision by the New Jersey Supreme Court. I found this information from the OIS.org and the FindLaw.com. So this is seen because the zero tolerance policies in the 1980s and the 1990s started to emerge, and this led to more strict rules in zero tolerance policies. There was less forgiveness for students who were found doing drugs and other things in the school system, and we can see the zero tolerance policy today because there's less forgiveness. And I do agree with the decision from the court, because if TLO hadn't been breaking school policy in the bathroom, then she could have used that Fourth Amendment in her second appeal and probably won the case, because they couldn't have searched her bag. But because she was breaking the school policy, they did have a reason to search her bag and find all the evidence against her for selling drugs. And this court case is a perfect one because it shows and it gives people ammunition for zero tolerance policies, because she was doing drugs and making an unsafe learning environment at the school. And they should have a zero tolerance policy for the kids who are selling drugs and bringing drugs into their schools. But at the same time, I think a better way to do this in day-to-day and bring it into our schools is maybe giving her a second chance, not just immediately involving the police and immediately putting her in the court system. We should maybe try and find ways to work that in the system, maybe give her attention, or like find ways to help her and not just immediately put her in the prison system. We want to help our students become the best that they can be and find ways that when they mess up, we can help them, and by giving them already a mark on their being in the court system, that is not going to help them become better. That's just going to already put them in that system. And I think we also need to just watch out and try and help our students day to day just to improve and stay away from drugs and get out of that system. And when they are, because we know that a lot of the students, maybe they're involved in gangs or drugs, we just need to find ways to help them without immediately harming them and putting them in the judicial system. Thank you.